Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches that we work with do not work for your body, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. For your practice today, you'll want to have a mat to practice on. If you would like additional props, feel free to have a block or two or a blanket close by. We'll be doing a variety of seated, standing, and reclining stretches. So if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And today's practice will be a wonderful practice for the mind and the body. So we'll work on techniques to relax the mind and the body. We'll work on increasing flexibility, mobility, and building strength. To begin, let's find a comfortable seated position. And if it works for you and you want to cross your legs, please do so. If you would like to extend your legs out in front of you, you can always do that if that feels more comfortable. Let's take an opportunity to close the eyes here. And just giving yourself some time to release the day so far. So whether the day was good or bad, or it just was, just letting that go. If you can, really just sink and drop into your breath. Just taking those deep inhales and exhales to really let yourself land on the mat. As you inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine. Maybe you can feel yourself lifting from your low back a little bit, lifting through the back of your neck. And just feel your breath gently flow in and out of your nose. And try to lengthen as you breathe in and also as you breathe out. Feel free to set an intention for class today. An intention is a goal, a desire, the reason you stepped onto your mat. And that can be anything. Maybe that you want to relax a little bit, give back to yourself. Maybe holding tension in the body and wanting to let that go. Let's take an opportunity to gently extend the right leg out. So we'll bring that right leg at a little bit of an angle off to the right side. We'll bring the sole of our left foot to the inside of the right leg. Let's begin to bring that left hand onto our yoga mat. So we'll sweep our right arm up and over and come into a variation of a side stretch here. Maybe let your gaze float up towards the sky just to start to open up through the neck. Let your breath bring you through center. Right hand lowers, left hand lifts. As you breathe here, see if you can find this nice long stretch from your left hip to your left fingertips. Inhale, we'll float the hands up. Hands will be in line with your shoulders. Let's take an exhale, twist to the left. So right hand onto your left knee, left hand behind you. Gaze off your left shoulder. We'll take a breath into the stomach, the ribs, and the chest. Inhale brings you back through to center. Exhale, hands to the opposite side. Let's breathe into the twist for the low back, mid back, and upper back. We'll take ourselves back through to center. Let's sweep those hands up to the sky into prayer, hands to the heart as you exhale. Let's bring our left leg up and over. We'll work with a figure four stretch here. Take a full breath to lengthen, and then as you exhale, gently melt your heart down. Maybe do a gentle scan here of your body, noticing where you might be holding on to tension, and then letting that tension go. Let's begin to float on up. We're going to stamp that left foot off to the right. You'll spin onto the outside of your right leg, and just feeling that the outer edge of the right foot presses down. So you're going to have your left toes pointing off to the side of the room. And there's an option to stay here and then option to work with a variation of a side plank if you'd like. So you'll get nice and grounded in your right hand. You'll press firmly into the outer edge of your right foot. You're going to take that left hand to the sky, and you're also going to feel that left hip lifting up. So side plank with a IT band stretch. Let's gently release. We're going to come on out. We'll kick the legs out in front. Right leg floats in, left leg kicks out. Back into Janushirshasana legs. Let's gently take that right hand down, left hand stretches up and over. And then breathe here. Maybe imagine that you could create a little bit of space between the ribs as you breathe so deeply here. Inhale takes you through center. Exhale, left hand lowers, right hand lifts. Find a bit of a rotation in that right shoulder. Right shoulder rolls back, left shoulder under. And just feel that the heart's shining up to the sky. Let's take a breath in here. Reach up, stretch up. Hands to the right. Exhale, twist. Take an inhale here. Feel your spine lengthen. As you exhale, let your twist deepen. Inhale, back to center. Reach up, stretch up. Exhale, twist to the left. Maybe gaze off your left shoulder and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into the twist. We'll take ourselves back through to center. Inhale, hands reach up, stretch up to prayer. Hands to heart as you breathe out. Let's begin to bring that right leg up and over. We'll find our figure four stretch. Breath to lengthen, exhale, fold. And this is a really nice opportunity to start to stretch the hips. So good stretch for hips and legs and low back. And then as we rise up, we'll begin to drop everything off to the left side. We can roll onto the side of the hip there. And then we're just going to want those right toes to point off to the side of the room. And you'll want to feel yourself on the outer edge of the bottom foot there. Let's ground firmly into our left hand. Right hand reaches up. We're going to feel the hips rising with the breath. Hand reaches, stretches up. And reset. Let's lower the hips down. We can extend the legs out in front. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake on out. Meeting in a tabletop position when you're ready. So you can sweep your feet to the right or to the left. If your knees are sensitive, feel free to grab a blanket to pad the knees. If you don't have a blanket, sometimes taking the mat and rolling it in can be a nice way to support the body. We are going to extend the right leg behind. Take an opportunity here to press out through your heel in the back of the knee. Let's begin to lift our heel in line with our hip. Maybe roll that right hip down a little bit Imagine that you could balance a book on your low back. We'll work with some Shiva squat variations in our table. So we're going to take our right knee to the left. We're going to cross the leg over. We'll do a little tap. Take a big breath in, reset back, variation of balancing table. Exhale, let's take it to the left. 3 more times with the breath here. And then so easy to hold the breath. So let's breathe in and breathe out through your nose. When that feels complete, let's keep that leg lifted up. We'll take our left hand behind. We'll reach back for the foot. And then let's play with this idea of kicking the foot into the hand. So variation of sugar cane and tabletop. You might find it helpful to find a spot to focus on, one spot to focus concentration, to focus awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eye shift at all. Let's take it back down to the ground for table. A round of the cat dog stretch. Let's lower the stomach, lift the heart, press the ground away, chin to your chest, and then back to neutral. Left leg extends behind you. Toes curled under, pressing through heel and back of the knee to begin. Core engages. Let's lift that heel in line with the hip. Try to press out through the back of the knee and also through your heel. Let's go for 5 of our crunches. So Shiva crunch, left knee to the right. Breath to lengthen, breath to reset. Exhale, crunch. 3 more times with the breath. And then we'll float ourselves back, balancing table, right hand. Let's reach it back for the foot. Taking that hand to foot connection, begin to kick the foot into the hand for a back bend here. Also breathe into your quad stretch. And release. Let's put ourselves back into table, dropping down onto your elbows, and we'll work up with a dolphin stretch here. So reach for opposite arms, just feel the outsides, the fingers wrap on the outsides of the arms so that you have a nice strong foundation. Hands come out in front, fingers interlock, palms touch. You can also press the hands down into the mat. Toes will curl under, hips will lift up. So as you lift into dolphin, maybe you walk your feet towards your face for more of a stretch. Also, try to imagine that your feet are the same distance as your hips. So we don't want our feet to be too wide here. Get grounded in your forearms and grounded in your left foot. Let's take that right leg up. Option for the 3-limbed dolphin. You can always hold in dolphin. Take a nice full inhale through the nose and then exhale through the nose. Back to dolphin. Grounded through forearms, grounded through right foot. Left leg rises with the breath. Try to feel an evenness in your hips and an evenness in the low back. Full breath in, full breath out. Back through the center. Let's take it back to dolphin. Coming down, we'll have our toes curled under, sitting back on the heels, working with a toe stand. Opportunity to open up the bottoms of the feet. Roll the shoulders. Let's bring those shoulders up, back, and down. Full inhale. One more time here. Come on forward into table. Tap the tops of your feet out on the mat. We're going to take it back into our toe stand. And then option two, work with a tree stand. So for tree stand, we're gonna bring that weight into the toes, hands on the sides to help with our balance. Maybe one hand to heart, maybe other hand meets it. And imagine that you could lift your hips from your heels. So find a nice activation in the stretch. And we're gonna let that one go. Let's take ourselves back into table. Taps the feet, tap out. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, down dog. Let's walk it out a little bit in down dog. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Maybe shake and relax your head, yes. And shake and relax your head, no. And then as you're looking towards your feet, again, we'll just have our feet in line with our hips. We don't want our feet to be too wide here. We'll walk our toes to the hands. Let's take ourselves into a fold. And then as you're folding here, we can shake it out a little bit. Bending one knee, bending the other knee. Head shakes, yes. And head shakes, no. As you find stillness, let's float our hands onto the shins. We'll take ourselves to a half lift here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we will root down to rise up. And then as you exhale, gently place the hands at the heart space. Let's take our right leg out and we're gonna work with a crane pose. So for crane, toes can be on the ground. You can also lift the leg up for a 90-degree angle. Option to float those arms out into a T position with soft wrists and elbows and also shoulders. Try to feel nice and grounded here through all the parts of your left foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside, and then noticing your body's natural tendency, if you tend to roll in or out. We're going to work with a variation of our Shiva squat here. So we'll take our right foot to the left, and we'll want to create a diagonal. The more space between the feet, the easier the stretch can be. You can modify this one. So legs stay straight, maybe a little bend, deeper bend. You can even tap that knee down if you'd like. We're going to flip our palms up. We'll take our index and our thumb. The pads of the fingers will come together for the chin mudra. Ground into your feet. Core engages. Let's come back on up. Hands can come to heart or out into crane. And then let's float it down. We'll do a little tap. Moving with the breath here. So this one can be a little bit more challenging. Try to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Let's meet back in crane when you're ready. Right foot will take a step back and we'll meet in our crescent warrior. So for crescent, we'll have the right foot back. We'll be right on the toes of the right foot. The right heel is lifted. We'll begin to actively press out through that right heel. Also press out through the back of the right knee. Hands can move into heart. Breath here to lengthen. Let's twist to the left. So we'll begin to hook our right elbow on the left knee. And then encourage the prayer hands to the center of the chest. Find that long line that flows from your right heel to the crown of your head. Let's gently unwind. We'll come back, landing in our crescent warrior pose. We'll take a step forward, meeting in crane. So we'll begin to spring off the right foot. Right leg floats up to that 90-degree angle. Zip the core up here. Let your tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up towards the spine slightly. Right foot takes a step back. Warrior one pose. Right foot back. Heel grounds down. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Breathe into the calf stretch. Breathe into the hamstring stretch. Let's float the hands behind the body. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. Let's open the chest and open through the heart. Folding down on exhale, we'll come into our Warrior One Yoga Mudra, Devotional Warrior One pose. Try to relax the fronts of the shoulders. And just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into the shoulder stretch. Ground firmly into your feet. Let's begin to float back on up. Warrior One. Hands begin to lower, runner's lunge. So we'll spin right onto the toes of the right foot, right heel lifts. Let's float that left hand up. Twist it out for runner's twist. Imagine creating a line that flows from your right hand to your left hand. So nice stack of the shoulders, stack of the arms. Release that left hand down. Let's take our right foot to meet our left foot, coming into our forward fold. Hands to shins for half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll root down to rise up. Exhale, hands into the heart. Let's bring that left leg up. We'll come into crane. This one is also called Balikakasana in Sanskrit. Maybe see if you can relax your shoulders on this one. Relax your jaw. We'll find our way into our Shiva squat. So we'll take that left foot off to the right. This time, let's take a different mudra in hands. We'll take hands at prayer at heart space. As you rise, hands can stay at heart or maybe float it back to our traditional crane pose. Maybe see if you can gently relax your jaw. Relax your eyebrows. Feel the breath flow in and out through your nose. Let's meet back. We'll land in crane. Moving from the core, big step back, crescent warrior. Left foot back, left heel lifted. Create a sensation of squaring your hips and squaring your shoulders forward. Hands to prayer at heart. Breath to lengthen. Let's twist. We're going to twist to the right. So that left elbow hooks on the right knee. Try to encourage the prayer hands to the center of the chest. Give yourself a little bit more twist here. Take a breath here. Let's rise back through to our crescent warrior. Springing off your left foot, we'll come into our balanced crane pose. Allow for your hips to be even in crane. Allow for the low back to be even in crane. Left foot steps back, heel grounds down. Warrior one. So we'll have that nice deep bend in the front knee. Square the hips, square the shoulders forward here as well. Hands behind your body. Fingers interlock, palms touch. Imagine a marble between the shoulder blades. Come down for devotional warrior. Deep breath in. Let's rise back on up. Warrior one. Hands come down. We'll take it to runner's lunge. Rounding through your hands. Left heel lifts up. Let's take that right hand up for a twist. And then as you twist here, try not to forget about that back leg. Press actively through the heel and the back of the knee. Lower your right hand down. Let's find our way into plank. Find a high push-up pose. Maybe you let your gaze float in front a little bit. We'll lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog here. Breathe into your low back bend. Let's press back. We'll come to down dog as you exhale. Knees will begin to lower. Hips to heels for a child's pose. So maybe have knees together. Fold over the legs to stretch, to help stretch your low back. Maybe take your big toes to touch, knees apart, giving that nice leg stretch and hip stretch. With your exhale, just feel your hips gently melting down towards the heels. Feel your heart gently melting down to the mat. And then breathe deeply into the low back, the mid back, and the upper back. With your exhale, let's begin to meet in down dog. So toes will curl under. We'll take our hips up to the sky. We'll work on that upside down V shape in our body. We're going to work with a pose called Wild Thing. Sometimes it's called Fallen Triangle. So for this pose, we'll begin to take our right foot and we are going to thread it underneath our body. So we're kicking our right foot to the left side of the mat. We're going to spin so that we're on the inside of our left foot. We're going to take that left hand. You can take it up and over. Maybe let your palm face the sky. And then try to lift your hips up. So just a really nice full body stretch. Let's come on out. We'll take 3-limb dog. So left hand down, right leg up. And then right foot will step through. We're going to rise to a warrior two pose. So as you set up in warrior two, gaze down to your right foot. Make sure that you have your knee tracking in line with your second and your third toe. We'll take reverse here. Float that front hand up, back, peaceful, warrior two. Move from the core, right arm to right leg, lateral angle. Maybe lower the hand down, extended lateral angle. Top hand to the sky, maybe arm frames the ear. You can also wrap your arm around your low back, reach for the other hip crease. Let's ground firmly into the feet. We'll bring it back into warrior two. Arms relax. Reset on the legs. We'll straighten out that front leg. Then we'll turn right toes in so they line up with left toes. And you can also turn the toes in towards one another. As you exhale, let's fold ourselves down. We'll take our right hand in front of the face. Left hand to the sky for a twist. Try to breathe here, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let your twist deepen. Left hand lowers, right hand lifts. Maybe draw a little bit more weight into that left foot, just so that the feet are nice and even. Low back is even. And then let that one go. We'll walk our hands to frame the front foot. Let's come to our runner's lunge. Bring it back into plank, high push-up pose. Lower it down, chaturanga. We'll take up dog here. Breathe into your mid-back bend. We'll press back. Let's come to a down dog as you exhale. So let's work with rock star on the second side. Left leg will thread under the body. Come onto the outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot. We're going to take that right hand to the sky. So arm up overhead, maybe palm up. And also take that hand right to the sky in line with the shoulder. Let's do a little reset on hands and feet. 3-limb dog. Big step through warrior two pose. And then as you align here, maybe imagine that the feet could draw in towards one another. So find some nice activation there through the feet. Let's breathe in, lengthen the spine. We're going to stretch that front hand up and back for reverse. Try to keep a deep bend in the front knee. Move from the core, lateral angle. Maybe extended lateral angle if you'd like to go there. Try to create almost a twist sensation on this one. So we want to roll top shoulder back and bottom shoulder can roll under a little bit. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Arms relax, legs relax. Let's turn those front toes in so that they line up with back toes. Toes in line, heels in line. Feel full breath to lengthen. Let's fold down as you exhale. Allow for a little bit of movement here. So maybe bend one knee, bend the other knee. Maybe shake, relax your head, yes. Shake and relax your head, no. As you take stillness here, let's walk our hands in front. We'll come into down dog with the legs wide. Send your weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light. And then almost this feeling like your toes could lift from the ground. So down dog with wide legs. We will walk the hands in through center. And then let's take those hands behind us. Gently roll the weight forward into our toes. We'll let our heels be light. And almost a feeling like the heels could lift from the mat. Let's begin to release. We are going to walk ourselves to a runner's lunge at the top of the mat. And then let's take forward fold. So back foot will hop forward and we'll be in a fold here. So we're gonna work with a yogi squat pose. Let's take our feet out nice and wide. Toes turn out, heels shift in. Have a deep bend in the knees. Drop the hips back and down. Maybe sit on a block if you would like. You can always roll a blanket, put that underneath your heels if needed. Really try to lengthen the spine here. Forward fold as you exhale. Plant the hands, straighten the backs of the legs. Walk your feet in line with your hips. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll root down to rise up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. So we'll start by bringing our right knee into the chest. Fingers will interlock. Gentle support to the front of the knee. If this is a bit much for you, you can always work on crane. Build that strength for your balance. Feel free to stay here. Option to take your right knee to the right. Left hand to the left. Maybe gaze off your left fingertips. You can take the pad of your index and your thumb together. Find a mudra here. Gently relax the left shoulder from the left ear. Let's gently draw that knee back through center. We can hug it up and in. And then option to twist. Right knee to your left. Right hand to the right. Gaze off the right fingertips. Right shoulder relaxes. We'll unwind the pose. Let's pull that knee into the chest. Right foot steps down. Get nice and grounded, and right foot and left leg rises. Feel the arm strength and the shoulder strength drawing your knee into your body. Left knee to the left. We'll take a hip opener here, hip stretch. Maybe right hand to right with that mudra, taking the pad of your right finger and your thumb together. Try to find space in the collarbone, space in the heart. Draw the knee back through the center. We're going to change up those hands. Right hand to your left knee. Gaze off your left fingertips. Left shoulder relaxes from the ear. Breathe in, breathe out deeply. Come back through the center. Let's take that knee into the chest. Pull it in one last time. We'll let it go. Feet will meet. Take feet in line with hips. Let's take a breath here. Reach up and stretch up. Exhale, dive it down to the ground. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Plant the hands, come on back to plank. High push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. We'll take up dog here. Breathe into the upper back bend. Let's press back. We'll come to a down dog as you exhale. And then in your down dog, see if you can feel lightness in your hands. Weight back to your heels. Knees will begin to lower. Let's take hips to heels. Child's pose as you exhale. Maybe do a gentle scan here of your body. Notice where you're holding on to tension. And then with each exhale, let that tension go. Begin to rise up. Feet can sweep to the right or the left. We'll take it down to seated. And down onto the back from here. Let's take our knees to our chest. We'll take right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee. Let's bring our knees out wide to the sides of the room. We're going to scoop and sweep them back to center. Nice big circle here. One more time, this direction. And then reverse. Let's go 3 times with the breath. Knees. Let's begin to pull them up and into the chest, giving yourself a nice squeeze. And then from here, we will come into some relaxation time. We'll come into Shavasana. So if you feel that there is a pose or a stretch that you would like to do before relaxation time, please do so. You can always listen to your body. For our relaxation time, feel free to relax the legs. You can have your toes turning out, your heels shifting in, your palms facing up. If you wanted more of an active rest, Feet can plant, knees will bend. Knees could drop in towards one another if you wanted. You can just see what feels best in your body here. So this is a really nice opportunity to integrate the benefits of class into your mind and your body. Take a moment to become aware of how you feel in this moment. Feel your mind relax at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Tension you may have come to class with, just feeling how that has melted as we breathe and move. We'll roll to the side, finding a fetal position. Pause here for a moment. Feel free to close the eyes and just feel the mat supporting your body here. As you exhale, just let go of any tension that you might be holding on to. With your breath, let's rise to a comfortable seated position. And then as you come into seated, if you feel called to, gently bring your hands together at your heart in prayer. Close your eyes or find a gentle gaze. Take a moment to thank yourself for getting onto the mat today, for doing something so good for your minds and so good for your body. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice. Please leave me any comments or feedback in the chat. I look forward to being back with you tomorrow. We have mindful stretch at 3 o'clock East Coast time. That's 15 minutes of mindful stretching on the mat. I'll also be back on Friday. We have 10 o'clock East Coast time chair yoga, and that's 30 minutes of stretching from your desk. I hope that I get to see you this week. I hope that you have a lovely day today. Take care.